Hey BC, it's Chad. So this is my vinyl finds for March of 2019. Um, I got a bunch of stuff, so let's get started here. First, we're going to start with some 45s. First one here is from Iggy Pop, and it's called Pussy Walk. And this is off of his 1995 record, Naughty Little Doggy, I believe, which I actually don't have. This record has a live version of I Want to Be Your Dog on the backside. So picked this one up pretty cheap. Love Iggy Pop. Got this one recently. It is a original 1980 pressing of Love Will Tear Us Apart. This is a US copy, Factory Records for Joy Division. So the cool thing about these early Factory Records, I've showed Joy Division and New Order before, is that the first pressings all are on, they look like black vinyl, but when you hold them up to the light, they're transparent. This one is on purple. Some of them are on red, but really cool. You would just think they were black vinyl, but on colored vinyl. So it's original 45 here that I got in a nice sale. So Joy Division. I got this one last weekend. This is an original copy of the first Runaway single, Cherry Bomb, which is one of my favorite tracks from them. On the back side is Blackmail, and this is an original picture sleeve, or company sleeve, sorry, for Mercury Records. This came out in 1976. Cherry Bomb. Cherry Bomb. So this is a Grail 45 for me. I've been looking for this for a while. I got it for, not in a store, but online, Discogs. Got it for a really great price, and I was super happy to pick this up. It's the first single from Captain Beefheart and his Magic Band. It's Diddy Wah Diddy, and this was the first single on A&M Records, and it's the first pressing that credits A. Christensen for the song. Really great 45. I've listened to this a bunch. The track on the back, Who Do You Think You're Fooling, is also a great one. So really happy to pick this up. Hopefully one day I'll be able to find a white label promo as well, but really happy for this one right now. So that's all the 45s I got. Let me get started on these. I got a couple new records here. First one is called Lux Prima, and this is a record from Carano from the Yeah Yeah Yeahs and the producer Danger Mouse. And this one is quite surprising. It is a kind of like trip hoppy, down tempo, chill kind of record. Really nice. The jacket itself is really cool. It's like a cloth bound cover. It's got a nice obi strip. It's like silver foil printing. Nice 180 grams. Sounds great. Really not too expensive. Definitely glad I picked this up. Hope to give it some more spins. Lux Prima. I think they had a single as well, maybe a year ago, which I haven't picked up, but I might do that. So, all right. So this one isn't for everybody, but it's a fun one. This is a satanic doo-wop band called Twin Temple, and this is their recently reissued debut album on Rise Above Records, and it has a nice uncensored cover on the front, some action here, and this is the Die Hard edition on silver vinyl. I don't think they're numbered, but I think there were only maybe 200 or so. Nice gatefold. There's a nice booklet. Some nice female photos inside that Andre at Linda Leg would love. Really fun doo-wop if you're a fan of like Amy Winehouse, but maybe Amy Winehouse meets the Cramps, or not as rockabilly, but obviously it's just doo-wop. So if you're not offended by the imagery or the idea of satanic doo-wop, then I do highly recommend picking this up. I know there's a standard retail version in the store. This is on Rise Above Records out of the UK, who's also the home of Ghost and Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats. So I know they just were on tour opening for them, Uncle Acid, and they didn't come anywhere by me, so I hope to see them someday. But Twin Temple, and it's called, I think it's just called Satanic Doo-Wop is the name of the actual, bring you their signature sound of Satanic Doo-Wop. Twin Temple. On the least opposite end, we have a record that I've seen a few times in the last few months, but it's always been trashed. Andrew over at Tales from the Crate talks about Strata East a lot, and I was excited to pick this one up. It's Gil Scott-Heron and Brian Jackson's Winter in America, and it's a nice funky jazz and spoken word record on original on Strata East. So that was a cool pickup. And speaking of Gil Scott, we have a record on Flying Dutchman, who he also did some records on there. And this is Bob Thiel's Emergency. And the record's called Head Start. Bob Thiel founded Flying Dutchman Records, and he assembled a group to do some, I know there's some covers of Coltrane on here, and I believe Ornette Coleman also plays on here as well. And really cool jazz stuff here. And I really like the Bullseye Flying Dutchman labels here. And I picked this up at Half Price Books with a coupon when they had a sale. So that wasn't too expensive. Nice original there. Here's one I got on a Facebook group sale. It's an original copy on Profile Records. It is Born to Expire from the band Leeway. And Leeway is a metallic crossover hardcore band out of New York City from the late 80s. And they are always spoken in the same regard, or maybe not as high, but are looked upon favorably in the same vein as like a Cro-Mag. So same label, similar sound, but Leeway, really great cover art here, and I always wanted to pick up a copy of this. Alright, let me get some more records here, bear with me. Alright, so here was a punk compilation that was a nice find. It's Rat Music for Rat People, and this is an original copy on Go Records. This came out in 1982, and it features some original tracks from some well-known punk bands: Dead Kennedys, DOA, Circle Jerks, Flipper, Avengers, Black Flag, Bad Brains, TSOL, Crucifix, and the Dills. Some of it is live. Actually, maybe all of it is live, but sounds okay. some of its original tracks that weren't released before. It's impossible to read the credits on the back. It's like a red and white text over top of black and white. So, and the labels basically are all the info that I could read. So, but I think there are maybe another series. There's a couple other volumes in this series, but I don't see them around too much. So, rat music for rat people. Here is another new record, actually. So I went to a show last week at the Andy Warhol Museum in Pittsburgh. If you've ever been there, there is a pretty big entranceway, and they set up a stage and put a PA in there. It was really packed for this show, and it is the new record from Madhu Mokhtar. And so the show was really great, lots of energy, very positive vibes. Madhu Mokhtar is plays like Tuareg music, and it's very guitar driven, similar to like a more Tanari Wen, I think, is been around for a long time. It's, you know, world music. This one is his first proper studio album, and it's released on Sahil Sounds out of Portland, Oregon, or somewhere out in Oregon. This was actually just came out on Friday, but he had some at the show for sale, and he is on tour. So if he comes to your town, definitely check it out. A lot of fun. He's like the Prince of, Prince or the Hendrix of the desert, that region, Sahara desert scene. So really fun record. So I highly recommend that. I think you can stream it on Spotify as well. So it's called Ileana the Creator. Picked this record up from a local sale. Would love to find an original, but this is a nice repress. The Golden Dawn Power Plant, really trippy cover here. This was a release on International Artists, and it's similar to like a 13th Floor Elevators. I'm not sure if they're from Texas. I don't remember exactly, but would love to find an original of this great psychedelic classic Power Plant from the Golden Dawn. Still on my Beatles kick here, and I found a nice original master recording of their Abbey Road record, and I paid $20 for this, which I thought was a great deal. Really nice condition for this Mobile Fidelity pressing from the early 80s. And so yeah, Abbey Road. Guess I'm a Beatles fan now. Here's one I haven't listened to yet. I just picked it up over the weekend, but it is Banana in Your Food Basket from Bo Carter, and this is on Yazoo Records. It's an original Peacock label, and it is Red Hot Blues from 1931 to 1936. I mostly picked these up for the Robert Crumb artwork, and so yeah, he's done a good bit of stuff for Yazoo Records, and it was actually Danny over at Not Enough Records that turned me on to this stuff. So this is a solo record from Alan Vega called Just a Million Dreams. And this is a white label promo on Elektra. Not sure if this is essential for you, but I'm a fan of Suicide, his band, and I wanted to pick this up. When I went to the counter at the record store, they ridiculed his pouty lips on the front, so it's a great cover there. Let me grab some more stuff here. So, how about this will be the first soundtrack, or only soundtrack of my haul here. And it's the soundtrack reissue for Jim Jarmusch's Dead Man. And the soundtrack was done by Neil Young. It's really sparse guitar, electric guitar. There's no vocals, but there is lots of dialogue from the movie. If you're not familiar with it or not a fan of dialogue, then this is probably not for you. But I really enjoy this soundtrack and the dialogue. So, great movie. Dead Man. And speaking of Jim Jarmusch, I found a couple originals of an actor that's been in some of his other movies, Down by Law, and I just saw a preview for a new zombie movie that he has coming out, which looks cool. And they are original pressings of Swordfish Trombone from Tom Waits. And this is an original pressing on the Canadian Island label. Really great record, and probably my favorite Tom Waits record. Maybe everybody's favorite Tom Waits record. It's Rain Dogs, and this is an original copy on Island Records. So I am getting pretty complete with my Tom Waits, at least everything up into the 90s. So I've been listening to that record a lot. Alright, so I got this one recently. This was an upgrade for me since this is an original copy. And I do believe this is an essential record for everybody to have. It is Johnny Thunders' So Alone. And this is an original UK copy on Real Records. Huge fan of Johnny Thunders, New York Dolls, Heartbreakers, and some great solo work here. And highly recommend So Alone. Sounds really great as well. So last month on eBay, they had a coupon sale, and I hunted around for something good to use it on. I think it was like 15% off or something like that. And I found an original copy of Radio City from Big Star. And this is an original promo copy on Ardent Records. Doesn't have the promo for promo use only on the labels. Has the regular Ardent labels with the promo jacket, which I've seen a bit. There is a little cutout up here, some little bit of wear, but overall a nice copy for me, and I was super happy to pick this up. Big Star. Here is a 3 Grail records for me I've been looking for a while. The first one, I honestly have been mostly looking for a mono copy, but I was super happy to pick this up. It was a great price. It is the infamous Odyssey and Oracle record from the Zombies. And this is an original stereo copy on Date Records. Great record. Of course, I think most people know Odyssey and Oracle. There we go. So I've been looking for this one for a while. You know, I love the Mobile Fidelity pressings of original master recordings, and I do love this record. It is In the Court of the Crimson King from King Crimson, and this is a Mobile Fidelity pressing from the early 80s, I believe. These are made in Japan. They're not numbered or anything like the newer Mobile Fidelity records are, but it's a really great sounding pressing of this record. I have an original, not an original, but a later 70s pressing. I think it's like a club edition, so I'm not sure if that's exactly the best copy to have, but I was fine with that. So I'll probably pass that along just to make room, because I think this is probably the definitive version of this record. My favorite track on here is Epitaph. Of course, everybody loves 20th century, 21st century Schizoid Man. But I love Epitaph, and actually the whole record is great. So it's really amazing artwork. Inside gatefold cover is great as well. Really trippy. Great prog, of course, from King Crimson. Mobile Fidelity. So here is one of my favorite, probably in my top 5 records of all time. I have a few versions of this. This is the oldest copy I have, and it is an original mono pressing of the Velvet Underground and Nico. Of course, there's it's peeled, but the cool thing, this is a East Coast copy, and it's a mono, like I said, very strong VG vinyl, which I was super happy about. I've been playing this a lot in over the last month. Sounds, great. The thing about this, it's a cutout, has a cutout, but this is one of the lawsuit stickers they call, which is pasted over the original torso on the back that's been airbrushed out in some of the later copies. So I would love to find an original first pressing mono, and still hopefully we'll do that one day, but they are crazy expensive. But I will definitely keep a peeled copy in my collection, and it's really cool to have this lawsuit sticker as well. So one of my favorite records. And just notice there is a stamped X down here as well. But what can I say about the Velvet Underground? Such a great record. So that's my top grail for March, and that's everything I got here. I just blew through a bunch of records. So I've been on a slow schedule, making probably one video a month, but 2 weeks from now is Record Store Day, so I'm looking forward to that. One of my favorite things is that a lot of local stores will save up some of their better Grail records, and they put those out on Record Store Day. Some of them do sales, and some do dollar sales or whatever. Just a great time to be digging all day for records. I do buy Record Store Day releases, so I'm looking forward to that. A lot of cool soundtracks and some other stuff coming out. I think that's next Saturday. Plan to go out this Saturday looking for some records, since we're already into April. So I actually did hit 300 subscribers. There are a few contests coming up or going on right now through ending soon, I hope. I'm not sure. So I do plan on having a contest for my 300 subs, but I'm going to wait till some of those are done, and actually just really wanted to think about what I wanted to do. Something simple and something fun for everybody. I really do appreciate it. I know I'm not very consistent in making videos, but I hope just to keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully you enjoy it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, CC.